Welcome back to the fourth installment of the biggest boss tournament BTD6 has ever seen, where ISAB, will be competing against 63 other top boss players to see who is the best at popping them boss balloons. Make sure to check out the previous episodes of this tournament in this playlist if you haven't already. I'll make sure to link all of them down below. To catch you all back up, week 2 of the group round has finished, and we are currently sitting in tied for third in the group. Top 4 in each group advanced out of the 16 players, so I'd say we're in a pretty good spot right now, but it would be nice to go even higher, or solidify our spot even more in week 3 here, where we have Elite Lych on Sulfur Springs. The goal is to spend the least amount of cash, but here's the catch. You can only place towers on the middle pillar. For those who don't have eyes, that means here. However, you can also place controllable sub-towers, aka any Geraldo item or totems outside of that pillar. And banned towers are Beast Handler and the Engineer Paragon, only one Paragon max, so choose carefully, if you do pick a Paragon, that is. And we're almost certainly going to have to go for a Paragon, at least I think that's what I'm going to do, because when you're playing against Lich, you cannot use buffs like Overclock and Permbrew, which makes it so that any non-Paragon towers are much worse at beating tier 5, and after lots of thorough testing, I couldn't see a non-Paragon strategy that worked, so I went ahead and tested all the different Paragons to see what could work. Basically, how I like to approach least cash runs is to work backwards on them, aka first find what works on tier 5 so that you don't have to play 4 tiers first before finding out that the strategy you tried is not going to work out for tier 5, so that's what I did. Again, don't mind the mods, just showing you it as an example, but the Buccaneer Paragon I found would work at degree 60. Anything below that, however, is incredibly sketchy. So when I tested even with a degree 56, it didn't really seem to work out with Lich having a little bit of HP left. The cheapest Paragons didn't really work out well either, especially the Dart Paragon. Normally, a Dart Paragon shreds because you can put it on the bottom of the column, and so all the balls will bounce within the circle, basically giving it 10x damage, but unfortunately, even a high degree dart on the top is not even close to working. Boomerang looks pretty solid, but mind you, I'm testing with a degree 80, which is pretty much, I wouldn't say impossible to afford, but incredibly hard. Especially since using boomerangs to farm up damage in previous tiers is very, very hard to do. And the thing is, you need these Paragons for tier 4 as well, because you don't have enough damage, at least from what I did. We don't really have to test Tac Paragon to know what that would do. Monkey Sub sounded like it had a chance, but it actually sucks ass really bad. So no to that, unfortunately. But fortunately, the next Paragon up price-wise is the Ninja. And if you would just take a look here, then the great news is that all you need is degree 60 in order for this thing to solo tier 5. I figured there was no point testing Paragons even higher than this, because that would be way not worth the money. So a 500k Paragon is what I ultimately had to settle for. Now the goal is, how do I build into the degree 60 Ninja, and how do I afford this thing by tier 4? Well, let me take you through the process of getting there, starting with the early game. This run is after I did countless testing, but it may not be my final run that I submit. Just in case I might do penny pinching later, we're gonna pick Geraldo, and we're going to drop his NFT on round 8. When it comes to least cash, you also want to spend the least amount of money on farms possible in order to afford said Paragon, so I figured Geraldo was by far the most efficient. His NFT, you only have to spend 1k on it on round 8 for it to be worth $200,000 by the time you sell it. So I could not find any hero that had any better cash value than that, even Benjamin. Geraldo's versatility is just simply unrivaled, and because I need money to defend tier 1 Lich, I'm also going to build a farm. This farm will be turned into a bank. Now, you're probably thinking right now, wait, why am I placing a bank that's not in the middle? Wasn't that banned? Well, I have to remind you again of the rules of this tournament, in that the rules are only intact in place when the boss is active. This is because the organizers can't tell if people who don't record follow this restriction between boss rounds, because they only require people to record the boss kills, because recording the full run would take up 20,000 hours of storage. Simply not viable, so that's something I can use to my advantage. With the help of a couple of shooting turrets, we also are able to get to the lead rounds using only a bomb shooter and onto discounting. There's only one working village spot in the middle that doesn't require you to freeze the water, and that's right to the left of the Girollo. Gonna try to get discounts as early as possible. I can only afford one of them, though, before I need camo for my base ninja around 33. But then after that, we can double discount almost everything. Now, once we get to the end of round 38, this is where the bank becomes full, and so I'm gonna collect all 9.5k of that money and turn it into a monkey town to accelerate our money gain even more. Do note that because of the rules, I have to sell my bank next round. And I go into this round with 5k to spare, not counting the bank money. Oh yeah, before we get to the boss killing, I actually have to mention that before I start this run, I have to respec my monkey knowledge and buy everything except 1 point. That point being in the military. I do not want big balloon sabotage. This makes all mob class balloons spawn 10% damaged. But we kind of need that lost HP in order to farm more props on our ninja. So that's the reason why, in case you're wondering. Anyway, 11k after selling the bank, which we're going to spend on 2 assassins. And then upgrade that ninja to Sticky Bomb later. It's honestly kind of annoying because Elite Lych tier 1 takes quite a lot to defend. So these assassins are going to be here late game, so they're just kind of going to have to be in money sink for least cash. And that's not it. Worst of all is that I am actually going to need a little bit more than this, but I will build it after I afford Sticky. And also, we just enabled small bosses because Lich is really big, and I'm actually going to need to be able to see the track later in this tier. Now, before I hit the first skull here, let me put these assassins back in first, because I want to make the money for Sticky Bomb before hitting the skull. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to defend it. So, strong, and strong now. Buy Sticky to pop that. 1 assassin for the chain there. And then, second one now. Alright, and now, I need more to defend this tier. Let's do an ice tower. We need to freeze the water because my next tower requires it to be frozen. Because it's too fat, let me just say. And that tower is going to be a heli pilot. And we're going to go bottom path. I need a mob shove because those chained F mobs are incredibly stupid. I also have to beat Lich before round 46 ends, so that's just a heads up. I gotta switch these back on first to be able to defend the F Moab here. Come on. Nope. Unfortunately, I got unlucky in this run, so I can't beat the F Moab even with 2 assassins. Let's try again at round 40. Okay, this time around we got luckier. I think we got the first sticky to land on the F Mob. So, there we go. Oof, down to 39 lives. Hope I got enough here. And I think we should, because after this point here, I can buy a mob shove to stall round 44. Check this out. So we can keep it on round 44 for as long as possible here. How long can I stall for? This chain mob is gonna F me up. Oh, that ruined everything. It's okay, we still got 2 rounds left to finish the last 3 skulls off, so feel like that should be enough time. Now, what's kind of annoying is that apparently it's hard to shove a Moab when Lich is in the way, because I guess Lich tries to use a shove on Lich instead. So I tried a lot, but I couldn't find a way to get that to work out. Anyway, last skull. This is it. And sadly, there's 2 chain mobs here. That's gonna be really annoying to deal with. So make sure to get those first. And then we don't have to worry about the rest here. Come on. I want to sell this now, and now, for the following. Let's get a Chinook. And let's try to stall out these Cerams as long as possible. So, I'm going to keep it over here while the Sticky Bomb deals with Lich. And what I want to do is, again, have the Sticky Bomb do the last 5k damage before round 47 starts. If round 47 starts, then I have to redo this. And, yep, the stall didn't work out. Okay, finally, at long last, I think I got it to work out. Check this out. Still 1 Ceram left. What I did was I basically just kept the one of the assassins to pop down Lich a little bit faster. And there we go. We cooled off half of the Chinook before round 46 ended. That's perfect. Now, it shouldn't be a surprise to you at this point that the level of gameplay that you see here in these weekly tourney boss challenges is much higher than that of my normal video. So what I'm going to do every single round from here on out is max stall every single round. The longer I can stall the round, the more money I can make from my time-based abilities. So this round, for example, I have to wait for the timer to start ticking before I end the round. So right now, the penalty is still 9.56. If it doesn't tick before the round ends, then we have to redo it. But thankfully it did, because when the timer starts ticking up in boss events, the cooldowns for the money-making ability stop moving. So there's no reason to go to a penalty. However, we do have to get the max stall each round, which is aka to the penalty. If that makes any sense. Really annoying, but these are the stops you gotta pull off if you want to be a top bosser. So I ain't gonna show every single round here, but once again, fast forward until the timer starts ticking this round. I don't really care about the penalty too much because it's very unlikely somebody will finish with the exact same cash score as me. Round 50, we want to make money as fast as possible to afford the Marine, which will reset the crate cooldown but give us a whopping 6.75k per crate, which is why stalling is that important, because that's a hell of a lot of money to make per round. And now in Monkey City to make even more money, as well as, get this, a banana farm. Because I mathed out that even with max stalling, just Marine and this is not enough income for me to afford Ninja Paragon, so I'm going to supplement that with a 000 farm sacrifice Monkeyopolis. It's an extra $6,000, but it'll make back 10 times that amount for the rest of the game, and it's space efficient because it's already on the Monkey City, which I am going to keep anyway for John Jones buff. Whereas if I had another tower, like a farm, then it would have to be put out here, and then be sold between rounds, which obviously isn't very efficient. And now, several rounds of max stalling later, we have $60,000 coming into round 60. Now, this tier I also want to end by a certain round, and that is round 61. For this tier, we're just going to buy a Master Bomber, and that's it. Ignore the 000 Ninja. But the reason you want to stall out rounds for Lich is that you don't incur a time penalty between if you stall a round out infinitely, which means you can make even more money by max stalling each round so that you get the maximum 3 crates in a single round. So round 60 you can't stall infinitely because it's not regrows. We can try to stall these cerams here, but eventually the cerams will pop because the sticky bomb has an AoE, so that'll nuke out those cerams, but can make a good amount in the meantime. If I can get the crate before 61 starts, then that's good. That doesn't count towards the 3 next round. That's another 6.7k right there. And there we go. 61 started. Perfect timing. Stalling 61 should be pretty easy. All I have to do is leave the, I think, support Chinook somewhere around here, and there should be an infinite zebra farm up in the top right, as you see. And Master Bomber is good enough that it can deal with the Rigger farm, because it's got like 10 damage, enough to one-shot zebras. So we can legit finish off all of the HP of Lich while 61 is still active. Pretty awesome. Last skull, and yup, it's still round 61. Now, because there's still overkill damage, I'm going to do another cool trick. Least cash, you don't want to spend money, but you can use a free Dart Monkey to do the following. Drop a Dart Monkey here, sell it to heal it a little bit. This will give us some more pops on the Master Bomber, so I'll use up all 10 of mine if there's time to. If not, that's fine too, because there's only like a little bit, 2,000 HP. But there we have it. Round done. We got, I think, 3 crates this round. Unfortunately, we didn't cool off perfectly to get all, like, the full cooldown, because I think I could wait another 30 seconds. So I think I'm actually going to redo this round until I get it perfect. So just take this tier completion as a proof of concept, but I think I can do better than this. Like, literally this time, don't buy Master Bomber, maybe until it turns to Ben so we can stall round 60 for even longer. And you see this? We started at round 61 at this point last time, but there's still a good amount of balloons left over. I don't think I can stall forever, because no regrow, but look at this. Pretty lengthy stall here. And now we buy Master Bomber. Stalling here, and there we go, perfect. See, the ability is grayed out, which means we stalled the round for the max amount. Now, I can, well, heal some HP or kill the stall. Let's just use up, again, all free Dart Monkeys, because this is the best run so far. And then, check this out. Drop Marine, don't worry, this is considered a sub-tower, so it's allowed to go down here. And that's about as much as I can farm pops on without spending extra money. That is a perfect execution of tier 2. And now for a crazy curveball. On round 64, we're gonna sell Geraldo and buy it back again. The reason I do this is because I need his refresh. Basically, once he goes to level 20, the round he gets level 20, his shop, no matter if it's empty, is going to restock back to completely full. So I mathed out so that if I buy Geraldo this round, starting at level 1, he'll get level 20 right on run 100. You'll see the reason and what items I need to get refreshed later. Anyway, up to around 80 is pretty simple. However, the only thing I have to do now is to make sure that I get my entire setup for around 80 completely discounted. We got a bit of a small issue right now in that this village doesn't cover the entire radius. As you see, there is currently some missing space around this section where things are not going to be discounted. So what I gotta do before round 80 is to Chinook some of these over. Now the only issue is that by putting towers outside the range of the Monkey any pops they get will not have the 1.6x boost, so that loses me a little bit of money as well as towers being up front, killing the stalling potential of my Chinook, so I'm gonna do that at the end of the 70s. So I'll try to max stall the next 15 rounds, and I'll see you then. Great news, every single tower outside of the discount range was discounted before Chinooking it over to this part, all 6 towers, so that's really good. Let me go over what I want for tier 3. I'm gonna keep the Marine because I need the lives and the money all the way up to tier 4, so we're just gonna make do with the missing space. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Giant Shinobi army, only 12 stacks, but that is enough combined with all of the debuffs to be tier 3, trust me, and with some wiggle room. This improvement is also not crosspath because I'm gonna door gunner once the round starts. You can't do it before I go in, but check this out. We're gonna play, pick it up, okay, pause the game, and try to fit in another ninja real quick, come on. Don't have time to waste to get a 13th under discount. There we go. And now let the killing commence. All 1.1 million HP of it. Glue Storm now too. I kind of wanted to not buy Glue Storm because with least cash, the 041 buff is almost as good, but I kind of need the continued duration of the 051, so that is a 15k roadblock. And also, that chained BFB up there was really annoying. But with the door gunner embrittlement, I basically get a permanent +1 no matter where it is on screen, because, you know, with super brittle, it's only getting the plus damage up to here. Then we start losing DPS rapidly. Nothing I can really do about it. And also, don't forget to keep using Grand Sabo off cooldown. That's really important because Grand Sabo increases the range of Shinobis and also gives it extra mold damage, in case you didn't know. In case you're wondering, yes, I'm also going to do this trick here. Drop a tower, sell it. That's like a 10k heal right there. I would do it with Dart Monkeys, with my 20 free Dart Monkeys, but there's no space anymore. And I'm not allowed to drop real towers, non-sub towers, like outside of the middle. Only the Marine is allowed, as far as I am aware. I gotta make sure to beat the last skull though, so right now, I'm gonna hold off on doing the Marine Barbicel. I need to kind of get to the last skull faster. Come on. Last skull now. Don't die here, please. That Lich Soul might be the death of me. Come on. Are we really not gonna have enough damage? Okay, this is fine. Wait, did I pop it? Holy crap, last second save. How lucky are we? Okay. Now we can do some healing action. I was just really worried that we couldn't beat the last soul there, but we should be able to do the last 100k. Alright, and GG. So while I have my embrittlement on my door gunner, I can't really stall the rounds out, but I'll try my best for 89 here. And now that rule is lifted, so we can drop that embrittlement somewhere else in the track and try to, if possible, get rid of the sniper too. Because with this, now there is no way I'm going to be able to stall out 90, yeah. That was awful, but if I put it down here, you see, won't be able to hit the entrance. Perfect. So now I just have to move this to brittle, and all the damage go on ninjas, and we can stall a little bit better. Come on, let me move to brittle. There we go. Now we're in business. And now remember that play I did early on 64 where I bought Geraldo again to time the shot refresh? Well, this is what I'm going to use it for. These Jerry Fires. I can get an extra 3 of these guys around 100 if I time the refresh, which is a big boost to DPS and should help me get to the degree 60 ninja. Jerry Fire with the Shinobi is really, really good because it actually inherits the attacks buffs from them. So a 20 stack ninja, which does like, I don't know, a 6x multiplier. That means that Jerry Fire shoots 6 times faster. Talk about stonks. It's so good that it's actually on par with the power of like the Jitsu itself. Like, legit, check this out over here. One ninja without Jerry Fire, one with Jerry Fire. Take a look at the debuffs, and the damage difference is insane. Literally almost twice as strong. So basically, think of the Jerry Fires each as an extra Bloon Jitsu, and because we can only really fit 4 of them, the rest of the space is going to be on the finishing 20 Shinobis, by the way. But we can basically triple the amount of Bloon Jitsus we have on this map, essentially. And thank God that Jerry Fire's pops count towards the tower in this case. I know there was a lot of discourse recently on Reddit and elsewhere, like about Jerry Fire counting pops towards Geraldo himself and not the tower. And I just want to let you know that I don't agree with that sentiment, even though that might have sounded like the case. I was just speaking from a content perspective. Obviously, people don't want to see Jerry Fire being used in a bunch of 2 Mega Pops videos, that's all. I don't really care one way or the other that the pop should count towards Geraldo, because ultimately it's just a self-imposed challenge at the end of the day, and it would make this challenge impossible, trust me. You need the Jerry Fire. So please, Ninja Kiwi, do not change it, no matter what anybody says here. In case you're also not picking up what I'm doing here, I'm buying a Jerry Fire every 2 rounds, because that's when it refreshes, and I'll spend all 3 Jerry Fires around 99, the round before the refresh. Well, this is looking real unfortunate, because those rounds that I didn't max stall out actually cost me a difference of 1, get this shit, 1 crate. It's not gonna come up in time. Come on. Oh no, I got it, thank God. Okay, so the stall, this is a perfect run. Good. And, as you see, 3 Jerry Fires are back. We are freaking cooking here. That means I'm gonna have 9 Jerry Fires to start the round, which is essentially 12 Bloon Jitsus. So as those Jerry Fires from the 90s expire, we're gonna buy the new ones back to maintain 9 of them. Also, gonna spend 400 on 2 pots here, 1 on the brittle, and 1 for our big GM, and I think we're ready to go. The goal is to get the Paragon. I think the pop should be there on around 108. If it's not there, then I'm cooked, basically. Let's go. And bring on the damage. We are blasting about 20,000 damage right now per second. I think we should be able to get through 5 of the skulls without the Paragon. After that, I think we're going to need some help, is my guess. And just like that, first skull already. Looking good. We're gonna leak, I think, twice here. Oh god. We're not gonna die to the chain DDT, are we? Are you kidding me? Okay, good. Wow. That was almost the unluckiest thing I've ever seen. Alright, and there is 102. Let's Sabo, and let's do this one here. 19 stacks only. Maybe not the best choice, actually. I should choose the one under Jungle Drums. Skull number 2. Uh-oh, more chain DDTs. I can't believe my Master Armor didn't stun all of them. Well, I think we got them this time. Another skull, and more DDTs. Great. I mean, so long as it's not chain ZMGs, we're good. Again, chain ZMGs are bad, because it will take forever to pop them. Even BFBs are taking a long time. 104, refresh this one over here. Alright, can I survive this Lich Soul here? I think the next Soul is going to be a little bit dicey, especially considering this got that far. Oh, yikes. Okay. Yeah, what? Okay, I'm not going to be able to survive that next skull, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure we don't reach that skull by starting to cell towers, I guess. Like, don't mind me. I'm just going to test out of curiosity here. There's no way, right? That's way too deep. That's what she said. There's no way I survive this one. Yeah. I'm going to sell the Super Brittle because it's not in range of Lich anymore to heal back a little bit. Although that means it takes longer to beat the ZMGs up there. Come on, hurry up and end 107. 108? Okay, let's go now. 529. Buy this one. Come on. 60. 60. Perfect. Okay. I think this is the run, folks. 885k. is our final cash score. If this degree 60 can clutch up the ending. There's only 3 skulls left, but this thing chunks like crazy. It only takes 3 stickies to get to each skull. And that's going to be it for tier 4. And that's going to be it for tier 5 because I tested even in this spot. Trust me, it works for tier 5. But now comes the question, is this actually going to be my final run? Because I'm thinking, is there anywhere I can cut money? Obviously, I can cut maybe $100, like $200 not buying like a camo bot or something. Or 1 less Jerry Fire. Maybe the one I bought on 106 wasn't needed. Because truthfully, that's the only place I see myself, like, being able to cut money. Maybe I could not buy Cal Drops on all those Shinobi Ninjas, but Cal Drops is a decent amount of damage with debuffs. It's like tens of thousands, which helps again for Paragon degrees, so I don't know, man. Well, I skipped Cal Drops on 1 upgrade, which you can see made about a 20,000 damage difference. Hopefully that doesn't matter. And also no Jerry Fire on 106. Which, yes, allows us to save a whopping $1,000 from her score. Marvelous. Anyway, come on, 108 start. Let's see if I still got 60. Hell yeah, okay, we're taking this run then. I think I could push it further, but ultimately I have no idea what the top scores are, and if it ends up being down a couple $100, then F it. But sometimes optimizations just go to the point where it's just not fun to, you know, cut. Like, sure, it might be theoretically possible to save another $2,000, but how many extra hours would that take? You know what I mean? If you want my bold guess, I bet some Mad Lad out there probably didn't even use the Monkeyopolis, because you see, it made 71k, but I had a decent amount of money. I could have sold a lot more to get to 500k, so maybe that's where you save $6,000, but I ain't going back to around 50. And now for the final tier, we can just watch as the Degree 60 Ninja shreds Elite Lych in its mighty glory. Only thing we really gotta worry about is if we have enough lives to handle, and I think it should. It only lose 27 twice. You know, the more I look at it, it's actually incredibly tight. If I didn't farm like an extra 100 lives, I actually might die. 213 left. Second last skull. Surely this gets all the skulls, right? Uh-oh. Wait, does Degree 60 not work? I'm gonna crash out if it doesn't. And maybe I had to actually upgrade the Degree 60 on the other tower. The reason why I did for this one is just for tier 4. But I actually have to go back, I think. End my life. End it, end it, end it. Oh my god. I hate everything. Well, this is awkward. This spot doesn't work either. This is where the Grandmaster is. Okay, holy shit. I have no idea what I did differently this run, but it worked. At the very last possible second, wow. I might have ended it all right there if, like, there was no way for Degree 60 to work, because that's crazy. I'm not sure if it was the fact that maybe the big balloon sabotage affects the Lich Soul, because in testing it was much closer. Either way, we did it. Whatever. 884k, 655. JK, that's not the end. Because I had a little bit of extra time, I actually went back and cut the Glue Storm, and just got Glue Strike instead. Saved $15,000 that way. And honestly did not make tier 3 or tier 4 any harder at all, surprisingly. But again, in case you want to see the full footage of how that went, the submission link will be below. But this score is now 869,230. And what is this score good for at the end? Round 3 is over, and congrats to the general top 3 as always. Of course, it's probably the usual 3. Number 1 is Animal, living up to his name with a 796k score. And number 2 is this guy called ISAB. Yup, what you saw there was apparently the second best score in the entire round, even beating the GOAT Jandolf, who placed in 3rd. In case you're wondering what Animal did to save so much money, well, he did a tier 1 that didn't require, I guess, mob shoves and 2 assassins. And it looks like he went for the Ninja Paragon just like me, with the addition of several Jerry Fires around 80 to boot as well, and his full ninja setup. The biggest difference though is the fact that on tier 5 he actually added a Bomb Blitz, and I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently the Bomb Blitz ability has the ability to one-shot the Lich Soul. Like, even though it has 500k HP on this year, which is extremely broken, and had I known that, I probably would have tested that, but because of that, that means Animal only needed a degree 52 ninja instead of 60, so yeah, props to him, because this is Absolutely insane run. And in case you're curious about Jandal's run, he went for a Buccaneer Paragon, and also using the Bomb Blitz trick. So in the end, the Ninja reigned supreme, and it became a week where it was whoever came out with the best strategy, rather than who spent the most time. Because I'm gonna tell you, this week took a lot less time than the previous timed week. Here are the updated standings in my group with that shiny, bright green to my name on round 3. Sorted by points, that means we're now tied for second place in the group. Just one behind the first seed. So with 2 rounds left, stay tuned to see where we're going to finish off as we head into the playoffs after round 5. If we make it there, that is. The second place finish was so unexpected that nobody thought I was going to finish at the top at all. There's a Discord channel in the tournament server guessing game where people guess who is top 3, and none of the guesses ever included my name, so yeah, I'm kind of surprised myself that this was good enough for second place, because I thought other people would come up with the same thing. But I guess not. If you missed any of the previous tournament episodes, click here for more, and click here to see the full playlist. Otherwise, I'll see you in week 4.